new city, a fresh start, a flat with a view of something ancient. From the moment Lucy moved in, the cemetery loomed over her. It was just history, her friends said. Just old graves, untouched for 1,000 years. But then the nightmares began. Each night, the cemetery called to her. Each step into its fog-laden paths felt more real. And when she finally saw the old woman on the rusted merry-go-round, it was already too late. Because when Lucy woke up, the cemetery had followed her home. Lucy had always dreamed of studying abroad, and London seemed like the perfect place. The excitement of living in a new city, immersing herself in a foreign culture, and making new friends filled her with anticipation. Her flat, though small and a bit run down, was conveniently located near her university. The only downside? It overlooked a massive, ancient cemetery, one that had been untouched for over a millennium. From the moment Lucy arrived, she felt uneasy about the cemetery. It wasn't just its size or the ancient tombstones that stretched far into the distance. It was something deeper, a sense of being watched. Her friends brushed off her concerns, laughing and assuring her that nothing had been buried there for over 1,000 years. But instead of comforting her, that only made things worse. Why was it still here, looming over her flat? The first night in her flat, Lucy's dreams were normal. But as the days passed, nightmares crept into her sleep like shadows. Every night, she woke in a cold sweat, her heart pounding, unable to shake the images from her mind. Her dreams always involved the cemetery. One night, she dreamed that she and her friends were hiking up a hill, the sun shining bright, the air crisp. But as they ascended, she noticed tombstones scattered along the path. At first they seemed random, one here, one there, but as they neared the summit, the number of tombstones increased. By the time they reached the top, they were standing in a full cemetery, hidden in plain sight. Panic rose in Lucy's chest, and when she turned to run, something leapt at her from the shadows. She woke up screaming, her heart racing, her sheets soaked with sweat. But as real as the fear felt, her friends dismissed it. "It's just paranoia," they told her. "You're stressed. The girl who lived there before you was weird like that too, always complaining about the cemetery." But Lucy couldn't shake the feeling. Each night, the nightmares worsened, the presence of the cemetery seeping into her mind like a fog. She tried staying awake at night, napping during the day when she could, but exhaustion eventually caught up with her. One night, while attempting to stay awake, Lucy dozed off involuntarily. Her dream felt different this time, more vivid, more terrifying. She found herself standing at the entrance of the cemetery, staring through the iron gates. A voice called out to her, soft and distant, almost like a whisper carried on the wind. Her heart screamed at her to run, to stay away, but her feet moved on their own, stepping into the cemetery, drawn toward the voice like a moth to a flame. The fog thickened around her as she walked deeper into the graveyard, the tombstones barely visible through the haze. The voice called to her again, leading her down a winding path. She wanted to stop, to turn back, but her body refused to listen. Finally, she reached a clearing. The fog thinned just enough for her to see what lay ahead. An old, rusted merry-go-round, abandoned in the center of the cemetery. Lucy froze. The sight made no sense. Why would a children's ride be here? But instead of horses or carriages, the seats were coffins and tombstones. As she stood there, rooted to the spot, the merry-go-round began to turn, slowly creaking to life. An eerie, haunting melody filled the air, growing louder with each rotation. Every fiber of Lucy's being screamed at her to run, but her legs wouldn't move. She could only watch in horror as the ride spun, revealing a figure sitting in one of the coffins. It was an old woman, her face hidden behind a veil of red lace. With each turn of the merry-go-round, the woman drew closer, her veiled face becoming clearer. Lucy tried to scream, but her voice was swallowed by the music. The old woman's hand reached out toward her, the lace veil brushing against her skin, sending shivers down her spine. Lucy's breath came in short, terrified gasps as the woman came closer, until she was mere inches away. Lucy's feet felt like they were planted in the ground, rooted deep beneath the earth. She wanted to run, to escape, but it was as if the cemetery had claimed her, held her in place like one of its own. Suddenly, the music stopped. Silence fell over the cemetery, broken only by the sound of Lucy's ragged breathing. She dared to glance around, praying the nightmare was over. The coffin was empty. She was alone. But then she heard it, a soft rustling behind her. Her heart nearly stopped as she slowly turned her head, and there, mere inches from her face, was the old woman. Her face was pale, hollow, and her eyes were sunken into dark pits. Lucy screamed, her voice finally breaking free, but it was too late. The woman reached out, her hand brushing Lucy's skin, cold as death. Lucy woke with a start, drenched in sweat, her breath coming in ragged gasps. She looked around her room, trying to steady herself, but something was wrong. Her bed, her entire bed, was covered in dirt and mud. As her friends rushed in, responding to her screams, Lucy realized that the cemetery had followed her into the real world. A forbidden path, a whisper in the night, a woman who should not exist. Rudy never believed the village legends till the night he took the wrong way home. A voice called out to him from the darkness. A figure in white stood in the middle of the path, her black hair draping over her face. She didn't move. She only watched. Then she smiled. Now the forest will not let him leave. No matter how far he runs, the path only brings him back to her, and in her hands lies the fate of those who came before him. A terrifying legend, a spirit that never forgets, a game of escape where the rules are already broken. Some roads should never be walked, and some whispers should never be answered. In a small village surrounded by dense forest, the path that cuts through the forest is rarely traveled. The villagers believe it is haunted, especially at night. They whispered about black-haired women who appeared there, luring men only to lead them to an unknown fate. That night, Rudy, a young farmer, was on his way home after collecting firewood in the forest. It was pitch black, only the sound of night insects filling the air. He carried a small lantern for light. The cold wind pierced his skin, making him zip up his shabby jacket. As he stepped deeper into the path, Rudy began to feel something strange. The wind felt different, cold and jasmine-scented. He quickened his pace, but the sound of his own steps began to feel like an echo. Knock, knock, knock. Rudy stopped. It wasn't an echo, but someone else's steps behind him. He turned around quickly, but there was nothing there, just darkness. "Who's there?" he called out, trying to shake off the fear. There was no answer, only a deepening silence. However, in the distance, he vaguely saw a figure standing in the center of the street. The figure was dressed in a long white dress, her black hair flowing over her face. "Excuse me." The soft voice sounded, echoing in the night air. Rudy was stunned. The woman didn't move, just stood still with her head slightly tilted. Although his heart was beating fast, curiosity overcame him. He stepped closer. When she was only a few meters away, the woman raised a hand, pointing at him. "You shouldn't be here." Rudy's lantern light suddenly went out, leaving total darkness. He panicked, trying to relight it, but his hands were shaking violently. When the lantern reignited, the woman was standing right in front of him. "Go away!" she snapped in a shrill voice. Rudy stepped back, but his foot tripped over a tree root. As he fell, the woman approached with slow steps. Her hair was parted, revealing a pale face with burning red eyes. "Don't be afraid," she said with a sinister smile. "I just want a friend." As the woman approached, her thin hand reached out, almost touching Rudy. But suddenly, a loud noise came from the forest, like a broken twig stopping everything. The woman stopped, turning her head in the direction of the sound. In an instant, she was gone. Rudy took the opportunity to get up and run as fast as he could. He ran relentlessly, the darkness seeming to swallow his path. But his steps halted when he realized that he was back in the same place, the path where the woman had stood. The woman was now sitting on the ground, holding something in her hand. A human head with a face that seemed to be screaming in fear. Rudy screamed in fear, but the woman just smiled as she said, "You're next." Unconsciously, Rudy tried to run again, but the path in front of him turned into a deep chasm that didn't exist before. There was no way out, only the sound of the woman's laughter echoing, getting louder through Rudy's ears. He closed his eyes, praying that it would all be over. But when he opened his eyes, he found himself standing on the edge of a small bridge leading out of the forest. His breath caught, his body trembled. He felt relieved, but when he looked back, he saw the woman standing on the bridge, waving with a cold smile. Her voice was a soft whisper, "You may go, for now." The next day, the villagers found Rudy on his doorstep, his body weak with a blank stare. When asked what happened, he only mumbled, "He's still waiting for me," as in the forest. Wow, this place is breathtaking. Valleys, meadows, and hills are inundated with colorful flowers, like squares on a patchwork quilt. Perfectly shaped trees fill the landscape. The picturesque countryside is pleasing to my eyes. Nowhere have I encountered a place so beautiful. A path inlaid with dirt and twigs gently winds through a wooded area. As I walk this path, I try to embrace the smells and sounds of my unknown serene surroundings. But there aren't any. The air is still. Wildlife and birds are non-existent. Nothing. Yet it feels so peaceful. Following the path, it takes a sharp turn to the left. As I round the bend, I notice towering next to a very tall, centuries-old oak tree is a magnificent piece of architecture that appears to reach into the belly of the heavens. It's gorgeous, standing like a castle in a fairy tale, dressed in a composite pattern of shiny crystals that cover the outermost parts of this mystifying formation. Gems shimmering so intensely, I turn away in fear of being blinded by their glow. As my eyes adjust, I guardedly advance towards a massive glistening door. Chills slither down my spine as I approach this means of entry. The closer I get, the more I sense that I am being invited in, but no one is around. I reach out with trembling hands to grasp the glass handle, not knowing what to expect. Slowly, the door gently and mysteriously opens with a sweet cry of a forbidden touch. I gingerly step over the threshold. The vestibule is strikingly small in relation to the outer appearance. A long, narrow passageway is dimly lit by pillars of candles ghostly glowing, casting shadows off each other. I slowly gain my composure. As I do, I hear faint sounds stemming from the end of the long hallway. I am drawn to the sounds like a bee drawn to the sweet smell of nectar. I am being pulled like a marionette, with no mind of its own, with no ability to turn and run. An unseen force is directing me towards the unknown sounds. As I get closer, the sounds become piercing. Sounds of music playing, voices singing, and people laughing drift down the corridor, echoing through the hall. Getting louder and louder, the intense noise causes me to cuff my ears. A scream escapes me as pain takes over. It's everywhere. Suddenly, everything stops. There is a deafening sense of pure silence. A fuzzy shadow appears out of the yellowing dim light. I strain my eyes trying to capture what I see. Stricken by fear, I am terrified, but I can't look away. I don't want to look away. A strange presence is making me glare at the unknown, when instantaneously a figure appears. A tall, mysterious man, with long dark hair as black as coal, eyes as deep and dark as a raging river, and skin that glows like rays of a midday sun. This unknown stranger holds out his hand and motions for me to come to him. I reach out and embrace his hand in mine. Heat radiates from his touch. Alluring me to his side, he wraps his powerful arm around my waist and guides me down the hall to the waiting room. His touch is enticing. I can't pull away. Neither one of us speaks. The quietude is peaceful, yet frightening. We stand outside the door to the unknown room. He is still embracing me as we both stand in silence. I look down, not wanting to make eye contact with this mysterious man. Without warning, he gently touches my chin, lifting my head, causing me to look at him. I swallow hard. I am the first to speak. "Where am I?" I ask, my voice shaking. "You are in my domain." The mysterious stranger replies. "Domain? Who are you?" He speaks softly. "I'm an angel. I summoned you here. I have been searching through all ages for a companion to sit by my side. I have finally found her. You will be my queen. We will rule our world together. Queen of his world." "What world?" A strange sensation overtakes me as he opens the door to the waiting room. We step inside. The door closes, but when I turn to look toward where I had just been, there is no door, only a wall. A collaboration of feelings and emotions engulf me. I begin to feel dizzy. The room is spinning, or it is me. Fire is all around me. All four walls are encased in flames. The blaze seems to devour everything around, yet nothing burns. I feel so hot. Is it because of the flames or something else? The angel leads me to a black leather settee, motioning me to sit down. I do. He places his body in close proximity to mine. I feel heat expelling from him. Flirtatiously, he places his hot, eager hand on my thigh, caressing me as his long, slim fingers slowly move closer to my forbidden darkness. He throws his head back as an incarnal moan escapes from his lips. Artfully, yet schemingly, this intriguing man begins softly laying kisses up and down my neck as he whispers in my ear, "I want you, come to me." I'm captivated by his touch. I lean closer to him, craving his embrace. I slowly take a deep breath and inhale the sexual, manly scent which is now escaping his sultry body. Then suddenly, "Hey, Luce, where did you go?" I turn to see a beautiful, slender, curvaceous young woman with long, gorgeous blonde hair make her way over to where we are sitting. Wearing a red silk dress and 6-inch heels, she quickly approaches. She displays a come-hither smile as she speaks. "I went to get Crystal," he snarls in a strong, enraged voice as he burns a gaze at the woman. "Crystal? That's my name. How does he know my name?" "How do you know my name?" I question. "I know everything about you, Crystal." The angel says, "I know what you like, what you hate, what you want. You want what I have to offer. You will take what I have to offer." I look away, but I feel a power luring me to look back at him. He continues, "You lust for money." He waved his hands and money poured from the burning flames, bills fluttering toward me like delicate birds on a gentle breeze. I held up my hands in disbelief as the currency of numerous denominations flew around me. "You hunger for lust. Look around you." Suddenly, my eyes were opened to what I hadn't seen before. Beings were engorged with one another, craving and thirsting for desire, ravishing one another provocatively, moaning, scratching, licking, and to be truthful, quite artful in their sexual positions. The scene was embarrassing, but yet invigorating and exciting. "You live for gluttony." He clapped his hands, and again I was seeing things I hadn't before. Exotic foods and drinks were plenty. Bottles of alcohol filled the tables, counters, and portions of walls that did not contain burning ashes. Riches of everything imaginable were thrown about: gems, diamonds, emeralds, rubies. Immense bronze and golden statues of winged creatures I couldn't quite make out were decorated with tanzanite and black opals. I could not believe my own eyes. "All for your taking, my love," he continued. "All for your taking. You are vain. Your pride holds you captive in your world. Here, you are free to be the true you. Flaunt all you have and will have. Flatter yourself. You are a gorgeous, sexy woman. Show off your appearance. Be proud of your looks and of who you really are. Brag about yourself all you want. You are beautiful. No one will knock you for it. Here, the conceit is a virtue. All you have ever wanted and sought for in your world is here for the taking. Be my queen and rule with me, and this will all be yours." "No, this doesn't feel right. I want to leave. Please send me back," I scream. "No, you will stay," the angel announces forcefully. The floor begins to shake and open up beneath my feet. I scream. Suddenly, flames are smothering me. I'm burning. My hair is on fire. Swirling flames surround me as I plead and beg the angel to let me go. I'm inhaling smoke. I can't breathe. "You will do as I say. You cannot and will not resist me. You are mine. Help me, please. Let me go," I beg. Everyone thing is laughing and pointing at me. They are singing and dancing and swirling through the flames. They are not human anymore. They are hideous creatures with horns and spikes on their heads, fangs, long pointy fingers, hair and scales on their bodies, red eyes that glow as red flames in a fire. "Make her yours," screech the creatures. "What is happening? Get me out of here," I scream in panic. The angel begins to belch smoke and ash as he speaks. Thunder roars with each spoken word. Fire spurs from his nostrils. Black wings as coarse as sandpaper emerge from his shoulders. Grrr. "You are mine. Your soul is mine. Give it to me. You will remain in hell with me." The thing claws and spits at me. It slithers around me like a snake, hissing and spitting, hissing and spitting. I hear the woman in the red dress yell, "Lucifer, take her!" The beast bellowed with rage as it flew toward me, black wings flapping powerfully, knocking me to the floor. As I try to get back on my feet, I am surrounded by creatures whooshing and whizzing by me in a spectacular array of images, for they are now creatures I can't describe. Raspy and gnashing sounds I can't comprehend spew from their mouths. They are the most ghostly things I have ever set my eyes on. The things are now combining into one, spiraling and whispering around and around, leaving trails of vivid colors, circling me, making sounds that are incomprehensible. I am being engulfed in smoke. Suddenly, all I see is a huge black blob racing toward me, screeching and crying, It grips me with its long, sharp talons as I struggle to get away. I am being dragged into an abyss. No, I scream, my heart beating like a freight train pulling a heavy load. Sweating so profusely my clothes cling to my body as everything goes dark. Bring, I jump up steadfast as I realize my alarm clock is going off. I sit quietly as I listen to the pounding of my heart, secretly persuading it to slow down. Perspiration saturates my body. As I slowly come out of my slumber, I glance at the time registered on my alarm clock. It reads 5:45 a.m. I've been asleep for 6 hours. Thinking out loud, I utter, "Wow, what the hell is going on?" I close my eyes and take a deep breath. As I open my eyes, recall hits me. Oh yeah, I remember. The man was that ever a strange dream. Suddenly, I hear a soft whisper in my ear. Not a dream, Crystal, not a dream. You will be mine forever. You're the devil, I whisper softly. You're my queen. The devil replies seductively.